It is 8:55 a.m. on Thursday, I guess, April 2nd, 2020. And the unemployment numbers just came out for the previous week and came in at a massive 6.648 million. That's on top of the 3 million from the last week. So basically, over the last 2 weeks, we got 10 million people who have filed for unemployment for the first time. And that is an enormous number. It's hard to get your mind around it, really, because there's more people born every year, and population's growing, and the labor force is growing, and all that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to do, just for my own clarification, was to look at the numbers in the totals and how that changes over time. So I found this site, tradingeconomics.com, and they have a whole bunch of statistical series, which is probably just pulled from the thread, but in a nicer little format. So we got the number of employed persons, which was, before all this, which was 158.7 million people. And, population's 320, 330. So roughly half of Americans are or were employed. And, the rest being either, disabled or retired or students or children or whatever. So, that's the number that we were at. So over the last week, this has gone from 158 million down to 148 million. So down to this level right here. And that basically takes us back to either the housing bubble highs or the 2014, 2015 numbers. So basically, this whole triangle that goes from here and up, that's all gone. All those people are now unemployed. And so all the job growth that has happened under the Trump administration is totally wiped out, and plus some more from the last 2 years of the Obama administration. But also there's more people. So what does that mean? Let's see. This is the total population. We're at 329. So it's just craziness. Let's pull out a bigger chart here so that we can see. It's been pretty solid population growth, actually. So we went from the statistics have not caught up with the report because it just came out. So what I wanted to do, I'm doing this live, I haven't actually checked this out before. If we look at the calculator. Okay. So before, we had a labor force participation rate of 63%, basically. And if we know that the number of jobs is 158 million, 158 million, then we can kind of figure out what the working population is. So, if we look at 158,714, actually the unemployment rate would be the right thing to do. So that was 3.2%. And so if 158 million have jobs, and that is divided by 0.968. So 164 million were considered the working population, people seeking jobs and all that kind of stuff. And we know those numbers are massaged to be as optimistic as possible, but even so, if we take out 10 million of that, so then we go down to 148 million. So 148 million divided by that population number. I'm off by 1,000 there. So basically we're at 10% unemployment right there. So it was at 3%, and then we lost 10 million jobs, so now we're at 10%, or 9.8%. So, and that's in 2 weeks, and that is not counting the fact that many of the states are completely overwhelmed. Their websites are down, and the basically they haven't processed, all these things. So these numbers might be undercounted, but we're looking at at least 10% for right now. It's just craziness, and I mean, yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. And the markets are reacting. Here we've got looking at the futures here. These are 10 minutes delayed, so it might be down a bit more. But we have a nice red candle right there. I couldn't even believe the futures were actually up a percent or 1.5% before the report came out. It's like, well, people just must be getting their shorts in because we know it's going to be bad. There were a couple. So the consensus yesterday was 3.5 million. There were some payroll reports saying it's going to be like 6 million, and it came out at 6.6. So it was worse than anybody expected, which is saying something. So stuff's getting real, and it's April 1st, or sorry, April 2nd. So I'm sure many mortgage payments, many rent payments have been missed, and we know that if it's a federally backed mortgage, which is a lot of them, most of them, then evictions and foreclosures have been put on hold. But there's still going to be, even after all this passes, there's still going to be a catch-up period. And are people even going to be able to afford to catch up? I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of activity in loan modifications and workouts and but still we're going to see some people selling houses because they just can't afford to stay there. So it's going to be extra pressure on the real estate market. So might be some deals coming in the next year or so. But that's all I got for now. Craziness.